Join me today for the glory of Rome as I retro review and discuss the movie that made even your grandma know who Russell Crowe is. I speak, of course, of Gladiator. Also, I do want to revisit this because Gladiator II is coming out very soon. Strength and honor.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, everybody. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I, as always, am your humble host, Van Ebert, for Movies Merica Live. And in this episode, we're going back in the Wayback Machine, back to 2000. Yes, 2000, the year that Conan O'Brien used to opine all about there on his show. But we are 24 years after the year 2000, but I still remember parts of 2000 very fondly. And one of the highlights of that year is when the movie Gladiator came out. And I was anticipating that movie. I heard it was the movie that was going to make Russell Crowe a household name before the movie even came out. That's what all the critics were saying. And I liked the Russell Crowe and other movies before this, like The Insider and L.A. Confidential and Quick and the Dead. And I was like, man, this is awesome, man. He's going to be in this new movie about gladiators, man. It's been so long since we had like a good sword and sandals epic. And boy, did this movie deliver. All right. But real quick here, I just want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics here. Welcome as always. And you guys, your movie maniacs and you fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, as always, along with everybody else, are invited to get into the live chat to talk about Gladiator. Yes, I know this is not a movie where I'm like, I don't know if anybody's seen this movie. Me and maybe like 3 other people have seen Gladiator. BS. All right, I know like pretty much everybody on the planet, okay, has seen this movie, with obviously a few exceptions here or there. There's always an exception to the rule. But Gladiator is like, it's part of the zeitgeist, right? It's part of pop culture. People quote it. People send out memes about it. Everybody knows who Russell Crowe is. Okay, it's one of the movies that put Hans Zimmer, on the landscape as far as being one of the greatest film composers of all time. Okay, people know Gladiator, especially dudes, right? I mean, when you want to have like a dudes movie night, if there is such a thing anymore, this is one of the movies that you're going to be playing on dudes movie night, right? Along with like Heartbreak Ridge and Braveheart and maybe Lone Survivor and Black Hawk Down, those kind of movies there. But yeah, let's get into some Gladiator here. But real quick here, I'm going to double check here. Hey, we got Beyond Formal. Hey, Beyond Formal here in the live chat. Good to see you here joining me. And look up Beyond Formal on Rumble. He's got his own show on there as well. So again, that's Beyond Formal. Just look that up on Rumble, and he's got great content to check out as well. But I'll talk about the plot of Gladiator. I'm sure a lot of people probably know the plot of this. Okay, you've got Maximus, played by Russell Crowe, of course, and he is the general of the Felix legions under the emperor, under Caesar, Marcus Aurelius. And they have covered vast areas of the world, comprising the Roman Empire, right? You've got even like right after the title card, you get the text on the screen talking about how vast the Roman Empire is, and it's so vast. The Roman Empire spans from the northern countries of Africa all the way to the northern parts of England. And so it was a big Roman, empire and whatnot. And then eventually it spread itself too thin. It couldn't govern everywhere. It started letting too many people from other countries into its country, and it fell apart. Partly because of that. Does that sound familiar? But before that, though, the Roman Empire was one of the world's greatest empires, like the Ottoman Empire and the Ming Dynasty and Alexander the Great and that kind of thing. And so we see the big battle in Germania, and then it progresses from there where Commodus, Marcus Aurelius's son, thinks that he's going to be named, Caesar, because his dad is on the verge of dying. And you've got Caesar's like, wrong, nope, not going to name you Caesar there.
Gotcha, bitch.
Not gonna do it. And so Marcus Aurelius tells Commodus, or not Commodus, but come and talk today, Maximus, that, hey, Maximus, I want you to be Caesar instead of Commodus. Of course, Maximus is like, what about Commodus? And Marcus Aurelius is like, Commodus cannot rule. He must not rule. And then, of course, he eventually tells Commodus. Commodus doesn't really take it so well, to the point where he smothers good old dad. Yep. He doesn't use a MyPillow. He just grabs dear old dad and smothers him there. And, of course, Maximus knows, after Commodus comes and tells him, hey, our great father is dead. His breath gave out as he slept. And, of course, Maximus knows what's up, because he's like, hey, I know that he named me Caesar, and nobody else besides me and Marcus Aurelius knew about it. And so here we got Commodus, saying that his dad is dead. Well, obviously, Maximus can put two and two together and go, oh, your dad told you you're not going to be Caesar. You got pissed and you killed him. Got it. All right. So yeah, Maximus is like, when Commodus offers Maximus his hands, like, I offer my hand. I offer it only once. The Maximus is like, screw that. I'm out of here. And so Commodus was like, all right, I know how this is going to go down. So he sentences Maximus to death. He kills his wife and family, or wife and son. And then, Maximus gets out of, him being murdered, these, assassination, them trying to assassinate him, rushes down, travels quick to his family home. Unfortunately, he's too late. He sees that his mother, God damn, too many beers today, wife and son have been murdered brutally. All right. And then he's captured by slaves. He's made a slave. He's sold to Proximo, played by the late, great Oliver Reed, who turns him into a gladiator. He proves his worth as a gladiator after a great pep speech from Proximo, right? There's that scene where Proximo's like, all of us ultimately are dead men. We cannot choose, when that is, but we can choose how we go out. So we simply can be remembered as men. And apparently Maximus liked that speech. He's like, all right, now I'm going to fight. All right, now I'm going to end lives. And so he starts proving his worth as a gladiator. That ends up working out pretty well, because he's this great gladiator, and then Commodus, to his detriment, unbeknownst to him, decides to start the gladiator games again in Rome. So that brings Proximo and Maximus to Rome. And, of course, Maximus is kicking ass and taking names as a gladiator, in his first gladiator game at the Colosseum. That leads to Commodus coming down and wanting to meet, the gladiator. And that's, of course, when you have the famous scene, I'm a, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. That epic scene. One of the great moments in this movie that won Russell Crowe the Best Actor Oscar there. And so then it becomes, this cat and mouse game between Maximus and Commodus. You get all this fantastic, Roman political intrigue involving Commodus's sister Lucilla and the Senate, and just fantastic. Just so much great story. It's so rich. It's so thick. It's so compelling. in this, and so it makes it much more than just a action-packed bloody gladiator pick. But it's that as well. But it's just got so much great stuff there. So Beyond Formal makes a good point. When you're right, you're right. My pillows are too breathable. My pillows are too breathable. Right now, you can get it for half off for $29.95. Okay, gotta get them. If you want to take out your dad who just told you you're not going to be Caesar, you could do a lot worse than My Pillow. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much the plot of Gladiator. I mean, I'm sure I was describing all kinds of basically everything that pretty much everybody knows about this movie right there. I mean, everybody knows that, and it's pretty much everybody can recite the plot to Gladiator right back to me. Am I right or am I right? So, but of course, it's directed by the great Ridley Scott, who, of course, has directed the upcoming Gladiator II that's coming out here pretty soon. Actually, coming out this Friday, to be specific. That's why I'm doing this retro review of Gladiator, because I want to help everyone kind of just bone up on their Gladiator knowledge and the ins and outs and the plot points and all that stuff of Gladiator and that kind of thing. So you get to know Lucius again, because Lucius is one of the main characters of Gladiator 2 coming up here, and then Lucilla, his mother, is also in this. Connie Nielsen's returning as Lucilla in Gladiator 2. Ridley Scott, of course, after he came out with Gladiator, I think his next movie was Hannibal. It was either between Hannibal and Black Hawk Down. He was pretty busy in 2000 and 2001, because he had Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down. I think he came out with Matchstick Men with Nicolas Cage a little bit after that. So very, very busy guy. So Ridley Scott is obviously a famous director, Blade Runner, Alien, all those movies there. So Black Rain, who can forget Black Rain with Michael Douglas there. But and it doesn't take long for Gladiator to show you how epic and massive the scale of this movie is. It's a big movie, right? And it starts out quiet with a meditative Maximus taking in the terrain, looking over everything, and you see him, he's picturing his hand going through a field of wheat and that kind of thing. He's probably hearing Sting's Fields of Gold in his head. Probably not, but but he's meditating. He's very meditative, very contemplative there in one of the first shots of the movie. And then he's showing a curious appreciation for a little bird. He's watching this little bird flies away, and his face changes to this wry smile, and you imagine he's probably thinking about his wife and son when the bird flies off, and then so he goes, and his face changes though from that wry smile to his war face, where he gets serious, and that lets us know that something dark and bloody is about to go down. All right. And then of course next we get a few minutes of fantastic build up to an epic battle, complete with catapults, throwing oil bombs and ballistas, shooting bolts, you get flaming arrows, and then finally some close quarters combat with swords and axes and spears, and et cetera, et cetera. And also, I mean, this is a part of the movie where Ridley Scott and the cinematographer John Matheson, they create a couple of eye-popping wide shots of just the entire field of battle, with explosions, in the tree line, and hundreds of flaming arrows aloft. And then for much of the rest of the movie, the epic scale is illustrated by the meticulously detailed costuming and production design. So Arthur Max is who did the production design, and Arthur Max collaborates with Ridley Scott on the production design for a lot of his movies there. I think he did like Kingdom of Heaven as well, and Robin Hood. And so Arthur Max is just one of the masters of production design. And so again, the production design shows how massive this movie is. You got the Roman camp, you got the tents making up the emperor's quarters and receiving chambers, and all the accoutrements, throughout those tents and that kind of thing, all the adornments and decorations and that kind of thing. Caesar's palace, not the one with the neon lights and all the boxing matches. No, the actual original Caesar's Palace, all right? The Colosseum, and just all the area and all like the sub basement to the Colosseum, all that's very intricate. The streets of Rome, et cetera, et cetera. Just all this amazing production design. But all of that is nothing, though, without great performances to go with it. And Russell Crowe, he just makes sure no one else was going to win that Best Actor Oscar except him with his star-making performance. He brings some of what he did in The Quick and the Dead and The Insider into this multifaceted performance. And then you get the Oscar-nominated supporting performance by Joaquin Phoenix as the guy you love to hate, Commodus. I mean, he's so slimy, yet weirdly empathetic. And a lot of people know him now more recently as Joker, right? But back 24 years ago, he, made his big splash onto the scene by playing, just the sleazy, skeezy Commodus in Gladiator. And then we also get a murderer's row of veteran English actors. You have the late, great Richard Harris. A lot of people know him more as playing Dumbledore, okay, in the first Harry Potter movie. You got Oliver Reed. He's also the late, great Oliver Reed. He actually died during the production of this movie. I got Derek Jacobi, John Schrapnel, who also is no longer with us, David Schofield. Just a lot of English actors where if you saw them, you're like, oh, I know him from that other movie and that other TV series. I know them, okay. And then you get Connie Nielsen, and she's serviceable as Lucilla, but unfortunately for her, the writers don't really make her all that interesting as far as her personality. And you get Djiman Hounsou and Ralf Moeller. I mean, they're just great as Maximus's bros. They're just hanging out, clinking beers, fist bumping, just having a good time, right? And in that scene where Moeller pretends to be poisoned, that's absolutely great. And of course, Djiman Hounsou, says, you have a great name. They have to kill your name before they can kill you. So that scene right there. And listing all of this, it just makes it even more amazing that they got all this together to create this movie that won Best Picture at the Oscars. And they were still working on the script as they were filming. They didn't have a finished script whatsoever. They were just kind of just half-assing it, or not half-assing it, but just kind of like, just kind of flying by the seat of their pants with the script, trying to finish it up and that kind of thing, and just and touching it up and putting the finishing touches and all that stuff anyway during the actual filming of the movie. I mean, this movie could have easily become Shadows and Dust. But, it's a fantastic movie. Just love it. It's just one of those classics there. So gotta love it. And let's do this here real quick because I want to vary it up a little bit here, and because I want to keep you guys informed, not just about Gladiator, but I definitely want to keep you guys informed about a great website that you guys should go to, and that is tdpn.locals.com up there that you see. And you may be asking yourself, what is tdpn.locals.com? Well, I shall tell you, everybody. So that is our Till Death Podcast Network website, hence the TDPN in tdpn.locals.com. And we have all kinds of great content like videos and blogs and articles, all about things like, movies and entertainment, cocktail recipes. If you want to learn how to, make like a spicy old fashioned, for instance, you can find that on there. Politics, hot button topics of the day that everyone's talking about. But if you want to be informed about it, and know, before you go and you start talking to people, you can do a whole lot worse than tdpn.locals.com. Got funnies on there. Got musical content as well on there from my man Sean. He's like a bass guitar player, and he's got musical content on there as well. Life advice, all kinds of great stuff on tdpn.locals.com. And as you see down below, if you put in promo code TDPN when you go there, you get 1 month free membership, meaning you've got carte blanche, okay? You got free reign, okay? You are a VIP of tdpn.locals.com for 1 month with the promo code TDPN. And then after that, hey, it's just a measly $3. Okay, that's nothing. $3 is nothing, especially coming up here. All right, I think our economy is going to start coming out of the basement, okay, coming out of the crap hole that it's in now. and your dollar is going to spend a little, better than it has, the last 4 years. So yeah, $3 is really not going to be much coming up here soon. But of course, if you want to donate more to the cause, more than $3, by all means, I am not going to refuse your money. That is for sure there. But yeah, get there, check it out, tdpn.locals.com. All right. And real quick here, let me ask you to, if you would, smash that like button right on down. Just smash it, all right? Just pummel it, all right? Just make like a gladiator with a good old axe right there, and you're fighting for your lives, and you just got to take your axe to some bad guy's cranium, right? You just, and that cranium is the like button down there. So take your axe, swing your axe on that like button there if you would, and then let anybody else that you know that you can think of to join the show here right now live, or watch it later on, and hit the like button there if you would. Then that would be fantastic. Also, whatever platform you're watching this on here, if you would be so kind and hit this follow or subscribe button down there as well on the Movies Merica channel that you're watching this on. That would be fantastic. Okay. Now, if you've already clicked it, don't click it again, because then you'll unfollow or unsubscribe. And then there's also the notification bell down there, which does exactly what it sounds like. It's going to notify you whenever there is a fresh, piping hot new episode of Movies Merica ready for your eyeballs to take in there. And then if you happen to be watching this later on, you're not watching it live, you're watching it, in 2 years. Well, first off, thanks a lot for watching. How you guys doing? And this is my invite to you to get in the comments down below, because if you're watching it later on, well, obviously you can't live chat with me, but you can comment to me, and you can let me know, hey, is there something with the episodes that I'm doing wrong, you don't like it, or hey, if there's something that I'm doing great, hey, you can let me know down there as well, okay? Because I'm not immune to enjoying some effusive praise, okay? If you want to butter me up down there in the comments, that's absolutely fine. But I'm also cool with constructive criticism. And you can also let me know, hey, what did you like best about Gladiator? Or maybe you're that rare person that's like, they don't like Gladiator, and you can tell me what you don't like about Gladiators. Stuff like that. It's the comments, baby. All right, you can put down there whatever you want. All right, so do it right there. All right, let's talk more Gladiator. But real quick, let me take a tug off my brewski right here. And that's just to remind you that, hey, it's still the weekend, all right, as of the live session of this particular episode. So, drink up, baby. That is fantastic. And I'll be going over that brew in more detail later on during brew review time. But first, more Gladiator. So in Gladiator, it has such compelling character backstories and motivations. For instance, showing through little ticks that Maximus is a tough, ferocious fighter, but he's also a loving man who sees having to fight as a cross to bear. But he really just wants to be with and love his wife and son. Or another example of, compelling character backstories and motivations is, Commodus not getting the love he wanted from his father. So he pretends that he's loved by the people, as well as disgustingly pretending that his sister has romantic love for him. Ooh. All right. And writer John Logan, who would later write movies like The Last Samurai and Skyfall, provided many of the great one-on-one conversations we see that reveal the relationships between characters. So he wrote the scene between Marcus Aurelius and Maximus, where Maximus is asked to be, Caesar, as well as the let's pretend that I'm a good father and you are a loving daughter scene with Marcus Aurelius and Lucilla. And these are just rich conversations that scream out that this isn't just a dude's action movie, all right? This is something deeper. And Gladiator isn't just a bloody, violent revenge tale. It's a story about a man that just wants to get home to his wife and son, whether it's in this life or the next. Obviously, he would prefer this life, but as fate would have it, that would not be so. One of the other writers, Bill Nicholson, is the one that came out with the whole afterlife concept in the movie. Okay, so you even see it at the beginning where you see his hand going to the field of wheat. And then when he's on the verge of death, you see Maximus, he's kind of picturing the afterlife as well. And then his conversations with Djiman Hounsou is punctuated with references to the afterlife. Okay, so it's when Djiman Hounsou's talking about, like, well, I will die soon and I will be in afterlife, but my wife and my daughter, they won't die for many, many years, but I will wait, or something like that. And of course, Maximus is like, but you would wait for them, and he's like, of course. And that's when Maximus, tells him, okay, well, my wife and my son, they're already in the afterlife waiting for me. Just that whole afterlife, all of that stuff, that whole thing, that they had to write that in, because it really came to like a point where they were stuck in the movie, because they had a bunch of the writers that wanted to kill off Maximus' wife and son, but the original writer, Dave Franzoni, he didn't want to kill off the wife and son, but he got outnumbered, right? He got outvoted, and so they killed off the wife and son. So then they're like, well, we have to turn this movie so it's not looked at as a revenge tale only, or revenge tale at all. We have to make it to where if he dies, that's a win, right? So he's trying to get home. He's trying to get to his wife and son, even though it's in the afterlife. And so Bill Nicholson, one of the writers, he's the one that came up with that whole part of the story. And it's the emotional foundation that the writers build throughout the movie that helps women like Gladiator II. I mean, if it was just gladiator battles and beheadings and tigers, they'd get bored. However, Maximus is written as a guy that other guys respect because he's tough, right? He's tough. He's a ferocious fighter, but also someone who women want to be with, because he juxtaposes that toughness by also being a man that loves. That's why Gladiator has been the bringer of the peace in households all over the world when couples fight about what to watch. He wants Commando, she wants Love Actually. Then suddenly they both look at each other and simultaneously shout, Gladiator! It's one of those great things about Gladiator. It's just, it's a bringer of the peace throughout households with couples all over the world right there. So it's just, Gladiator is just, is just great on so many other fronts there. But so let's do this here real quick, because I'm starting to get really thirsty, even though I just took a drink right there. And that is my clue to do a little brew review time. All right, so what do we got here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is a little Anderson Valley Coastal Ale that comes to us from Boonville, California. And this is an American style, I'd say like an American style pale ale is what this is. And it's you know what, right off the top, it's a good beer. It's a fantastic beer. I'm not going to bury the lead. All right, not all beers that I review are winners, but this one is a winner. It's a pretty good one. It's very light-bodied. If you like a beer that has a great citrus presence to it, but not so much that it makes the beer bad, that it negates the quality of the beer, then you can do a whole lot worse than Anderson Valley Coastal Ale. And I'm not getting any money from Anderson Valley whatsoever. Okay, it's a completely objective opinion right here, a review for this particular brew there. And it's not harsh. It's very enjoyable. You get some orange citrus taste in there, and to a lesser extent, you get some grapefruit flavor in there as well. Right when you smell it, you just get that citrus scent, that citrus nose. It's just really, I could smell that all day. That's really, really good there. And I think it would pair well with like a lot of fish dishes, seafood dishes, that kind of thing right there. A lot of these American pale ales do go well with seafood and fish dishes and that kind of thing. Like I said, it's light-bodied. It's got an alcohol by volume 4.5. It's got an IBU rating, that's International Bitterness Units. It's got an IBU rating of 28. I mean, it's not very bitter whatsoever. But grab yourself some Anderson Valley Coastal Ale right there. It's even got a bear on the can there, people. Come on, it's even got a bear on there, so you got to drink it just for that. All right, and but you probably got to get it someplace like Uber Eats or GoPuff.com or drizzly.com, because this is going to be one of the more obscure beers. This is not going to be ubiquitous whatsoever. It's not all over the place like, tranny fluid Bud Light or, Coors Light or whatever, okay? This is going to be a little harder to find. But, if you go to any of those places that I just mentioned here, and I'm not getting any money from them either. I just want to give you a way to get your hands on a great beer like this Coastal Ale here. So I'm just trying to help you out, okay? But enough of me yapping about this beer. I want to take a little tug off this bad boy. All right. Well, that was a little bit more than a little tug right there. But hey, you know what? I like my beer. Sue me, all right? But that has been Brew Review Time. All right, everybody. Let's move on with the show here, shall we? And another way I want to basically move on with the show is to let you guys know that we have some fantastic merch available for you. Yes, Christmas is coming up, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Hanukkah. Okay, so get your yarmulkes out and also get down into the description there, because that's where the merch link is right there. It's just right on down there. So just zoom on down to the description and click on that merch link after the show. Of course, I want your undivided attention for right now, if you please. But after the show, click on that merch link in the description down there, and get yourself some Movies Merica merch there if you want. You've got the Movies Merica T-shirt up there. You're going to see all kinds of Movies Merica merch. You got Movies Merica shot glasses, yoga pants, phone cases, plates, pint glasses, all kinds of great stuff. Great gifts. Nothing says "I love you, Grandma" like Movies Merica shot glasses. Okay, because hey, you know what? Maybe Grandma, when the family isn't over there, maybe she's a freak. All right, maybe she's a freak and she likes herself a little tequila shots or some hot damn or whatever, some Fireball. Okay. Your grandma knows how to party. She likes to party, and you could give her some Movies Merica shot glasses to help her out there. And, maybe she'll put you back in her will. If you do that, man, pardon me. Whew, that beer burp came from out of nowhere. But grab yourself some Movies Merica merch right there, and just get the Movies Merica T-shirt, rock it around town. I'm sure you're gonna have people like, Movies Merica. What is that? What is that? Sounds pretty damn cool. Tell me about Movies Merica. And it's just a great conversation starter. Okay. And hey, the ladies probably like Movies Merica too. Probably, if you're single and ready to mingle, go out there, to the club and wear your Movies Merica shirt, and you're gonna have all the ladies, coming up to you, like you're a bug light, just right up to you. Hey, what's Movies Merica? And next thing you know, you'll get in digits there, gentlemen. There you go. I promise that's exactly what'll happen. All right, so enough about that right there. Movies Merica is not liable for your lack of phone numbers if you wear your Movies Merica T-shirt. There you go. That's my little disclaimer. But let's get some more people in the live chat right there. My man Beyond Formal is getting lonely in there. All right, so my titty peens, my friends, let's get in the live chat. Don't lurk, okay? Because what we call lurking is when you're watching the show and you've got both hands free. Maybe you're sitting on the couch just watching the show and you're not live chatting, you're lurking. Okay, so man up, stop lurking and get in the live chat and keep my man Beyond Formal, keep him company, all right, and keep me company. Let's talk some Gladiator, everybody, all right? Now, if you're watching the show or listening to the show and you're behind an 18-wheeler or you're making tacos or, whatever, you're out in the garden or something like that, yes, your hands aren't free. Gonna be harder to live chat. It's gonna be impossible to live chat, quite frankly, right? You shouldn't. If you're driving, don't live chat. Don't do it, okay? But if you're not doing anything, you got no excuse. Get in the live chat, man. I want to hear from you, okay? So there you go. I'm getting lonely. All right, I'm sure Beyond Formal's getting lonely in the live chat as well. I know. Okay, that's enough of me sounding pathetic there. Please get in the live chat. Oh, my God. Man, I sound like a little biatch over here. But, more about Gladiator here, because I've got just some random thoughts about Gladiator. I mean, the Hans Zimmer soundtrack is legendary and was nominated for the Best Score Oscar But an injustice was done when it lost to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon score. Now, that score is a fine score as well, but it's no Zimmer's Gladiator score. I mean, no one recognizes anything from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm like, when somebody plays a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon soundtrack, you're not like, that's from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. No, nobody's like that, okay? Probably even the director of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Ang Lee, probably isn't like that. He's probably like, I don't know what that is. Well, it's the soundtrack to your own movie. Oh, boy, am I embarrassed, okay? But to this day, though, when people hear the Gladiator soundtrack, they know that's from Gladiator, okay? I mean, especially Now We Are Free, that track, Now We Are Free, that is featured prominently towards the end of Gladiator, when Maximus dies. So when you hear Now We Are Free, and you hear that familiar and beautiful voice of Lisa Gerrard over Zimmer's score, that's from Gladiator. I mean, and also one thing about Zimmer's score here that I have to call out is, it's not really calling out. It makes it sound like he did something wrong, but you do hear some segments in the Gladiator score that Zimmer actually uses later on in the Dark Knight trilogy. So you'll watch Gladiator, you'll hear the score like, oh, that's kind of sounds like the music he used in that scene from the Dark Knight, or something like that. So it's kind of so, but composers do that kind of thing. And another random thought about Gladiator is, I personally, and this is just me, people are bound to feel differently about this, but I didn't like the romantic subplot between Maximus and Lucilla, because he's supposed to be this guy who's distraught and grieving that his wife was killed, and here he is kissing some other woman. Like, what is that? I mean, come on, I don't even know what that even is. All right, I mean, it's like when I despised William Wallace and Braveheart hooking up with the French princess after his supposed beloved wife was murdered. Like, I thought your wife that was murdered, she was like this woman that you love, even from your childhood. She dies, or she's murdered, and then you're like, bumping uglies with this French princess not long after that. What the hell? I mean, are you heartbroken and only have love for your dearly departed, or not? Okay. And I know that it's explained that Maximus and Lucilla have a romantic history, but that doesn't excuse it. I mean, but let me know what you think. What do you think? I mean, if you're if you're watching this live, let me know in the live chat what you think about that whole subplot. Or if you're watching this later on, let me know in the comments down below what you think of that whole romantic subplot between Maximus and Lucilla there. So, all right, let's do this here real quick. And I just want to let you guys know about a great sponsor for this show. And that sponsor is Flip City Magazine. And you may be asking, hey, Van, what is Flip City Magazine? All right, because you're an inquisitive sort, and God bless you for it. Well, Flip City Magazine is the worthy successor to Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. Remember Mad and Cracked magazines? Back in the day, they were the funny magazines, with their irreverent humor. Mad Magazine had Alfred E. Newman, What Me Worry, and these were magazines where you could pick them up and just depend on getting some good laughs, from Mad Magazine and Cracked. Well, somewhere around the old year of our Lord, 2016, something happened politically that had an impact on old Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. It was the election of some guy whose last name rhymes with Bump, okay? And when he got elected, it just broke Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine's brains, okay? Because a lot of writers, from comedy magazines, they're all like liberal lemmings, and so they just can't handle it when they hear too much truth. And so Donald Trump is one of those guys that spreads the truth and whatnot for the most part, right? But point is, Donald Trump broke their brains, so they allowed themselves to get assimilated into the woke Borg. So they went more into the business of teaching you how to live your life, young man, and teaching you those good woke principles instead of making you laugh, okay? Enter Flip City Magazine, okay? They just want to make you laugh. They want you to get some funny when you're having a bad day, when your boss is treating you like crap, or your old lady's getting on your case, or your old man's getting on your case, okay? And they just want to make you laugh. They want to make you giggle. But enough about hearing me tell you about Flip City. Let's hear it straight from Flip City.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
All right, so yeah, grab yourself some Flip City Magazine, and we're making it very easy for you to get some Flip City Magazine because we have a Flip City link in the description down below. And as you see right now, if you put in promo code MOVIES, you're going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around, okay? And you know what? I got myself my Flip City Magazine right here, all right? It just looks so awesome. Got great artwork in there, got that gleam, got that shine right there. And it's just so fantastic having something that you can hold in your hand right there, getting all patriotic there with a flag. Got some drink recipes right there. And hey, you got your crossword puzzle. Okay, so I mean, if you get bored, you got all kinds of entertainment. Got some great comic strip artwork right here. And yeah, just look at all that stuff. Just we got Trump right there. Got a little Trump right there. He's kind of in the news lately, right? So, but yeah, grab yourself some Flip City Magazine right there as I cover my face. All right, so grab it there and get it before all your friends and family get it, because you don't want to be that doofus that goes to the family reunion and go, hey, everybody, did you guys hear about this Flip City Magazine? And they're like, yeah, we've already heard about Flip City Magazine. They all hold up their Flip City Magazine, to you. And you're like, oh, man, I'm the last of the party. And they're like, yeah, you are. You're a dork. So don't be that guy, okay? Don't be that guy and be the last to the Flip City bandwagon. Don't do it, all right? All right, get there now. All right, so just to let you guys know here, actually, got, of course, Movies Merica spoiler warning this Thursday night, where I will be going even deeper, doing an even deeper dive into Gladiator, okay? Again, in lieu of Gladiator II coming out this Friday. But I'm not going to be alone on this episode coming up here this Thursday. I am going to have Carrie Smith deprogrammed, okay? That's how she's known on X. If you look up Carrie Smith deprogrammed, you'll see her there. And you guys probably know her. She's been on Friday Night Lights. What am I doing here? She's been on with Nerd Roddick, and she's been on Chrissy Mayer's show as well there. So it's been on a lot of shows and whatnot. You've seen her on. I think she's also been on a Blaze TV show as well. But Carrie Smith. She's fantastic. I've met her in person once and whatnot, and I was like, you know what, I got to get Carrie on the show here and just pick her brain about different things and that kind of thing, and like topical subjects of the day, and then I'm sure she'll have something to say about Gladiator, because who doesn't? Gladiator is a great movie, all right. But again, yeah, Carrie Smith deprogrammed will be on the show as a special guest this Thursday night. And, of course, Movies Merica spoiler warning this Thursday night. That comes on at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Pacific, and 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. There we go. And, so join me here. And the best way to get to that show is if you go to my X page on Thursday. The links to the show will be there for your enjoyment there. Absolutely. All right. So is Gladiator a woke after school special, because I always like to let everybody know about every movie that I review. Is it a woke after school special? Thus, is it worth your money to go to the theater or not? Because if it's a woke after school special, I'm going to tell you it is, so that you don't waste your money to get lectured for $17 a head at the movie theater. Okay, so I want you to go see movies that entertain you or tantalize you or educate you, that kind of thing. All right, educate you on good stuff. Right. I don't want you to be subjected to a woke after school special that's posing as a movie. Okay, and so is Gladiator a woke after school special? Hell no, it's Gladiator. It's not a woke after school special. Come on. We all know this there. So, but yeah, that's another great thing. It's great thing. 5,437 out of the 10,000 great things about the movie Gladiator. That's for sure. All right. And then, so just to guys let you know here, if you guys appreciate what I'm doing here in any capacity, reviewing movies, letting you know if a movie's a woke after school special, that kind of thing. If you appreciate that enough to throw a little scratch my way at all, well, you could do that if you're checking me out on Rumble. You can give me what's called a Rumble rant. And the way you do that is down by where you type in your live chat message. You just got to click on the button with a $sign on it, and it'll just ask you how much you want to throw my way, okay? And you give $1 or $2 or $5 or $100 or whatever, okay? Check that out right there. And then if you're checking me out from YouTube, you can definitely do, you can throw some money my way that way, except on YouTube, they call it a super chat. And the way you give me a super chat for a certain dollar amount is down again by where you type in your live chat. Just click on the button with a dollar bill on it, and it'll just ask you how much you want to donate, and that's all there is to it. Very easy, okay? But don't do it, unless you legitimately and honestly appreciate what I'm doing, okay? So I'm not one of those hosts that's gonna guilt trip you into donating any money my way, okay? So, because I hate that when I'm watching the show and the host is like, "You're not very classy if you don't give me any money." I don't want to be that guy, okay? So it's pathetic when they do it. I sure as hell don't want to be looking pathetic by doing that. But yeah, so that's my rant about a way to throw some money my way there if you're appreciating what I'm doing, okay? Because it's people that do this, it's your time and your effort and that kind of thing. But again, if you don't appreciate it that much, that's more power to you. That's all cool. I just appreciate you watching. And what I really appreciate is people watching, and then if they have their hands free, live chatting, getting the live chat. That's what I really appreciate there, because you're going the extra mile, and you can, at least get in the live chat and just give me a thumbs up, or give me a smiley face, or just quickly say hi, and do all that in the live chat. Or again, the live chat, really primarily what it's for when I'm doing these episodes is so you guys can live chat with me about the movie that I'm reviewing right now. And I know Gladiator is a movie where a lot of people have seen the movie, and I am surprised I'm not hearing more about Gladiator on here right there. But it's Sunday after. The NFL is on. I'm sorry, I always make that. So it's hard to tell between the NFL and BLM and whatnot, so that's why I don't watch anymore there. But or maybe people that are in the live chat normally, maybe they're catching up with their quilting. They're they're cross stitching and that kind of thing, or picking flowers or something like that, or maybe they're crying because Whoopi Goldberg won't have sex with them. I don't know, and all that stuff. But anyway, I digest, okay? But my final thoughts about Gladiator is, obviously, if you couldn't tell from what I've said about Gladiator so far, is, if by some miracle you haven't seen this movie, watch it. If you haven't seen it, let me know. If I know you, if I'm anywhere in the area, I would love to watch Gladiator with you, because that's one thing I enjoy a lot is, if I know somebody that hasn't seen a dynamic movie, I enjoy watching that person see the movie for the first time, then I can see the expressions on their face and that kind of thing. I just get a kick out of it. So if that's you and you haven't seen Gladiator, let me know, okay? And I'd love to be there and watch the movie, which I know just sounds creepy. Sounds creepier than I thought. Pardon me. But yeah, Gladiator is a classic. You should definitely check it out. I've seen it probably way more than I probably should, but it's just fantastic there, and it's just a good movie to put on, like, you know, when you're at you're at the family's house, you're at the buddy's house or whatever, and the conversation is getting a little worn, and you're like, all right, I think we're tapped out of conversation. Hey, we should just throw on a movie. Hey, Gladiator sound good? Gladiator? Yeah, Gladiator sounds good. Do Gladiator. Yeah, Gladiator. There you go. So you could definitely do a whole lot worse than that. So it's just one of those movies where everybody knows the movie Gladiator there. So, all right. And real quick here, go ahead and follow me under @MoviesMerica, if you would, on X and Rumble and Facebook and Gab, okay? And then if you follow me on any of those platforms, if you would, go to my @MoviesMerica page on X and just DM me and let me know, hey, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform, and I will follow you back, all right? So, because that's the least I can do for you, hooking me up with your follow. So, there we go. All right, so with that, everybody, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Oh, yeah. Don't leave quite yet. No. Hey, the night is still so young and you didn't get that babysitter for nothing. Come on. It's like something o'clock, okay, right now. Okay, so stay here and like this video if you would. Subscribe to the channel. That'd be fantastic. Hey, and while I'm in the asking mood over here, because I'm just partying up here, and so should you, watch these videos over here if you would. Oh, yeah. All the cool kids are doing it, and then like them if you would. Absolutely, okay? Hey, and with that, thanks for watching this video, and Movies Merica Until Death Podcast Network. All right, let's party it up.